In fact, I noticed that at the end of every discussion, as Tom was asking for information, it always gave an email address and website. So what Tom is writing out is a prompt: respond to an email from a client asking about the difference between an iGuide 3D virtual tour, a Matterport 3D virtual tour, and a black and white floor plan. The client would like some information. Anything to add?
Yeah, it was interesting when you're talking and I'm trying to think at the same time.
Okay.
The client would like some information about where's client. Let's do this. The clients in East Beach.
So for our viewers, ChatGPT and GPT are similar and different. So you could think of a GPT like an app for your iPhone. And just like you can go to the iPhone iOS store or Google Play for your Android device, and there are millions of apps, there are probably hundreds of thousands of GPTs that exist today that have been created by the community. And in this case, Tom has created a GPT specifically for Sparks Media Group, which includes his division Scan Your Space, to train it on everything he can possibly think of that's public knowledge, so that when he asks a question like the following, he doesn't have to keep manually thinking and typing it out. All the knowledge is there. So far,
Yeah.
Tom's
Sorry, go ahead.
Prompt is: respond to an email from a client asking about the differences between an iGuide 3D virtual tour, a Matterport 3D virtual tour, and a black and white floor plan. The client's end use case would be to take the information provided and give it to an architect to render what a home remodel could look like. Anything to add before you hit go?
Nope. I'm gonna hit go, and I just was gonna ready to go.
Yep.
All right. In regards to all the GPTs, you can see I have some here that we've used previously. And we'll get into it probably where you can view all the other ones. You can make GPTs that are public, that anybody can see, and they can explore them through this kind of app store, if you will. You can also make some that are private for just you to see, and I've done that in a few instances too, where I've created GPTs on various topics and not shared them with the public. Let's go back to the top.
So it says, "Dear client, thank you for reaching out with your questions about the difference between an iGuide 3D virtual tour, a Matterport 3D tour, and black and white floor plans. I'd be happy to explain the distinctions and how each option can support your goal of providing information to an architect for a home remodel." This is really crazy, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
It knows everything because you're an iGuide provider. It knows whatever you've trained on iGuide. It knows about Matterport. Uh, okay, black and white, and I'm going to see if we could take it one step further. Turn some, if you could type, turn the info about Matterport, iGuide, and floor plans into a chart, if that's possible.
And from what I remember, this verbiage is almost identical to what it told me yesterday.
Okay.
Particularly in recommending an iGuide tour. I didn't think about creating a chart, but probably could.
Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. For the longest, I've had agents call me and say, I'm torn between iGuide and Matterport. What do you recommend? And I always tell them at the end of the day, it's like Ford versus Chevy. Everybody has their preference, but there are some differences, and I have to go into what those are. And I haven't really figured out a nice, clean, pretty way to get that on my website.